She is a very scary dog, a police dog. No one has ever approached her because Lulu scares people so much. Even today, a soldier named Ericol was sent to her. Ericol was sent by his boss. Ericol must go with Lulu and deliver him to his friend's funeral. Ericol accepted the order and entered Lulu's room. She was standing straight and he approached her fearlessly and started touching her body. The dog didn't react at this time, but as soon as he touched her ear, she jumped and started biting him. And we are showing how Eriko agrees to drive this dog to the said place no matter how much she scares him. After putting her dog in the car, Eriko immediately started his journey on their way. Lulu disturbed Eriko by shouting very loudly. He was very angry and called his boss and asked him what to do. The boss and her dog are very tough. As you know before, she has participated in various wars. If she even leaves the room where she was imprisoned, it has been a long time. Maybe it's because of that he convinces him that he should deliver there. Eriko hears all this. He is very sad for her dog and he turns to her and tells her that he will get her to her boss's funeral in time. If her dog had entered her, she was silent at once. Eriko was driving the car and reached an area. Here he thought that maybe she should take a break and he is about to untie her mouth. After removing the gag from her mouth, he tells her to come outside and walk with him. But the dog surprisingly got angry again, and when she started to bother him, Eriko got very angry and said, "You will wait for me here." He leaves her in the box. He goes to lock her. And her dog is very angry because he is holding her like that. She was pushing the box here and there. Surprisingly, the dog broke the box and got out and was waiting for him in the car. When Eriko came back, she bit the fabric of the chair with her teeth and made a mess. When Eriko sees this, he becomes very angry and her dog becomes so angry that he buys her food and then drugs her. He puts it in the food and gives it to her. After that, Eriko opens the song in the car and shows us singing happily. At this time, her dog was very tired and she was sleeping and she could not move because the medicine was too heavy for her. In the evening, when he saw her in this weakness, Eriko felt very sorry for her, and while he was trying to feed her, two women came from behind him. The women are so happy to see Eriko with his dog that they have a dog and they start talking together. And when they see that Eriko's dog is a police dog, their love for the dog increases even more. They tell Eriko to come to their house and have fun. Eriko accepts the request and is having fun in their house. Lulu, at this time the drug is completely out of her body. Her strength returned again when she started screaming in the car. When she started screaming, a man approached the car and the man thought the owner was not in the car and was going to steal the car and her dog. This time, Eriko heard a noise, so he quickly went outside and saw the man outside the car barking at his dog. The man has a stone in his hand and is going to break the window of the car and steal her dog. Seeing this, Eriko started to tell the man that her dog is not an ordinary dog. He warned the man that if the dog gets out of the car, it will bite you and throw your body away. But the man didn't hear what was being said. He broke the glass and the dog surprisingly jumped on him and started biting the man. Eriko jumps in and saves the man's life by preventing the dog from doing anything to the man. After that day, he never left Lulu alone in the car. Even at night he would wait for her in the car. But Lulu doesn't look happy even though he spends the night with her. Eriko realizes that he needs to teach her some lessons and teach her not to be evil. He started giving different food and giving advice. Her dog eats the food he gives her, but she never listens to his advice. While he is driving the car, Lulu surprisingly jumps out the back door and runs into the forest. Shocked, Eriko stops the car and runs after her into the forest, but the dog surprisingly runs and hides in the forest. While walking along the path where Eriko saw her dog, he sees blood on the ground. While following the blood, he finds a rural house. As soon as he found the house, Eriko was hit on the back and fell down. After a few minutes, he found himself in a room with his hands and feet tied. Since Eriko was a trained soldier, it did not take him minutes to untie the chains and shackles. He quickly grabbed a large iron rod to protect himself and headed straight into the house. The only sound he heard from inside was the voice of two old couples. Eriko realizes that only the two couples live in the house and that they are old. When her dog Lulu saw her, she was lying on the ground and eating food from the hand of the lady of the house. Seeing this, Eriko was surprised by the dog's actions and asked them what they had done to make the dog so stunned. The woman was very shocked at this time and told him that we didn't to her and said that her dog is probably quiet because it is green and quiet here. Those who arrested him said that they were very shocked when a stranger came here. Maybe they would release him later if they investigate about him. After they told him, Rico sat down with them and asked them how to raise a dog. The lady said, "Dogs can't talk, but you have to understand their feelings anyway. You have to be patient. They hate loneliness so much." She told him that if you take her with you wherever you go, you will be great friends. Rico thanked the couple and said goodbye to them and took Lulu and left the area. After that day, he never left Lulu alone, taking her wherever he goes. Lulu brings her very close to him. After that day, since Lulu stopped screaming, they make a very cool closeness as they travel. They finally reach the city they are looking for. Rico tells Lulu that they will stay at a big 5-star hotel. After wearing blind glasses, he goes straight to the hotel. Her dog, Lulu, is wearing the military uniform worn by military dogs. After that, he didn't have any trouble going in. Rico went straight in as if he was blind. The woman who received him first began to talk to Rico, considering him blind according to the law of the country and the hotel. The soldiers living in that area who were injured in their eyes or other parts due to military duty were allowed to receive medical and any other services free of charge. Because of that, they are given a free room to spend the night in. Rico is very happy about it, and they are having a great time with Lulu. After taking a shower with Lulu, he changes his clothes and goes out with his dog to have a nice dinner with his dog Lulu. Unfortunately, while Rico is standing there, a beautiful woman starts talking to him, and while Rico is talking to her, his dog Lulu is sniffing something. She starts running straight towards the smell, and Rico has the rope in his hand, so she pulls him and he start running together. Unfortunately, Lulu, her dog, ran and climbed on top of an Afghan man, biting him and killing him, but at that moment Rico quickly came from behind her and grabbed her. The whole thing is confusing to all the people at this time. Rico has convinced them that he is blind so that he can enter the hotel or take a room, because of the lie. The police come and take him to the police station. Rico talks to the police trying to explain what happened there. After a few minutes, the policeman let him go. After listening to him, Rico was once again confused by the dog's behavior. Before leaving the police station, a policeman came to him and told him about the dog's identity. Lulu participated in the Afghan war before now, that's why she did that in the hotel. We found out after looking at her file. As a result, Rico was released early and was very happy, taking her dog and driving him to the said place in his car. When they take a break in the middle, Rico starts looking at Lulu's file. Lulu has spent quality time with her former boss, and since she has participated in battles, because of this, Rico admired her dog very much. After this, he tells her that even if he is not like her boss, he will never hurt her, telling her that the time he spent with her dog was happy. As soon as they got into the car and started their journey, it was late night and it was raining heavily in the city, so the dog was very scared. She starts screaming when she hears lightning and their car breaks down on the road and Rico struggles to fix it. He immediately took her dog from the car and entered a house they found. They decide to spend the night here because there is no one in the house they enter, but Lulu has not stopped her fear and noise yet. When she screams and starts to get scared, Rico gets so angry that when he tells her to shut up, the dog jumps up and bites his hand. He is so angry that he leaves her dog, and then, after a few minutes, he comes back to her and apologizes for yelling at her dog earlier. The night is over and they are walking to the next place on their left. Today is the last day to bury the person who was raising her dog. If they don't get there soon, the funeral will be missed. He was ordered to get her dog there before the funeral. Instead of wasting time waiting for a car, they are running to walk. After a long journey, Lulu is very tired. At this time, they have traveled about 20 kilometers, so it is very difficult to even walk. Rico realizes this and travels with her dog on his shoulder, surprisingly arriving at the funeral. After Rico untied her, she went straight and slept on the shoes under her boss's photo. When they saw this, all their hearts were saddened. After the funeral, Rico quickly phone calls his boss. He thinks it's a good idea to leave her dog here. The idea that he thought he tells the boss that he should leave the dog here. But the chief did not agree with this idea. A soldier's dog is not allowed to be taken by anyone, so take him back to camp, the chief told him. Rico agrees with the boss's idea and starts the journey back to the car with her dog. When Rico takes her dog back to camp, he realizes her fate. He tells her to let her dog escape because it is known that they will keep her in the prison house. He took her out of the car and took her to the forest, telling her to escape repeatedly even if he untied her rope and drove her away. She refused to go and returned to the car. Desperate, he took the dog back to the car and reached the camp. He told his friends there that the dog is not what you think, it is not a bad dog, re-examine the dog and reassign it to another job, but no one could believe him. Rico is very sad and is about to return her dog to the camp, but her dog didn't stop looking at him at this time. Rico returned to the car telling her that he couldn't do anything to her. When he saw Lulu through the window while driving the car, he was very sad, but he quickly grabs a rope and starts running towards her. After putting the rope around her neck, he took her to the car and told the soldiers who were there that he would come back with her, and they quickly left the area. They started a new life and decided to leave this city and live their lives. The movie ends with Lulu showing that she now sees Rico as her boss. If you enjoy the video, like it, subscribe and comment to get more videos and become a family.